also the Picotin 26, which I've actually seen people wear on their shoulder. You could go for the micro one. Recently they've had, as I said, the Lucky Daisy one, but it's sometimes pops up online, but usually a robot will buy it. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. Thank you so much for your get well soon messages. I have been a little bit sick the last few days. I think I caught something, being like constantly working on things. I haven't been resting that much, so it kind of caught up with me a little bit, but I'm a very hyperactive person and I feel like I need to constantly be working on something, and I felt the urge to make a video right now, and I thought I'd talk about my Picotin bag and how it's been wearing over the last few years. Oh, and guys, if you love shopping and handbag videos, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers this year, so all your help would be amazing. Yes, so I have told the story of my Picotin a few times on my channel, but just to let you know, I'm pretty sure I bought this back in 2018, and it's been one of my most used bags for the last few years, and I wanted to inform you guys as to whether I think it's worth it or not, and show how it's been wearing. Today I wore my Garden Party 30 in the color Vert Almond. This bag I picked up secondhand as well. Ever since I got it, I've been wearing it like multiple times a week. I do have a Mai Tai collection bag organizer in it as well, which, not sponsored, I think it looks really pretty in the bag, and it makes it less likely that I'll get like lipstick or glitter on the fabric lining. It just kind of preserves the bag a little bit. I actually haven't touched up my makeup all day. I've been wearing it since like 7 a.m. It's now 7 p.m. at night. Touch it up a little bit after I ate lunch, but it's the Pat McGrath Fembot color number 20. It's just like more of a neutral color, I guess. So that's what I'm wearing today. I bought this pre-loved, so it did have a little bit of a life before I used it, but I found that it has held up really amazingly over the last few years. I think it has developed a little bit more of a slouch. And if you're considering buying the Picotin from the boutique, I think at the moment it's around 4,600 Australian dollars. That is a lot more than what I paid for this, but I honestly would still buy Picotin from the boutique because I love it that much. I think it's totally worth the money, especially comparing to, you know, Louis Vuitton and Chanel pricing. The Picotin obviously is a very simple bag. It is actually raw leather inside, so let me just show you the interior. I would recommend getting some sort of like pouch or like stability thing for your Picotin, because especially because it usually comes in Clemence leather, that leather is very soft and it will just slouch really like crazy. So without the organizer, this is what my bag looks like. It's like just like a little puddle, and I think when I first got it, it wasn't as soft as this, but definitely how I've used it over the years, it's turned into a little pink puddle. This color of this bag is actually Rose Extreme, which is one of my favorite Hermes colors, and I actually bought it with a small flaw. It has a little blister on it. I think the previous owner got hot water on it and it left a blister. I have found that weirdly it hasn't got that discolored or anything on the handles, because I never tie twillies on the handles or try and protect them. Sometimes I have hand cream on, sometimes there's like moisturizer on my arm, like I don't know, body oil, and I still do this, and it hasn't really shown on the leather. So I'm actually quite surprised by that, because yeah, I think the Clemence is very durable. And one of the things that really I feel like opened my eyes up to Hermes is when I received this bag in the mail. I actually got it from a consignment store called Timeless Luxuries. When I opened the bag and I saw this leather, I was just so like wowed by how soft it felt and how gorgeous the saturation of the color was. It's really like no other like leather I had experienced, because prior to that I'd only had like Saint Laurent bags and some Chanel bags, but the Hermes leather, I honestly, I remember first receiving this bag, I was really blown away by the way it felt and looked. So on the inside of the bag, it's just a raw, simple leather. And actually, I will say that I think over time, this part can discolor a little bit. I think depending on the color, like especially in like the color blue atoll, I've noticed sometimes this section can discolor, and you don't really notice it as much in the rose extreme, but I will say I can see a bit of like browning happening on the inside. Just from it, I don't know how it discolors. Maybe it's just from like exposure to light, because obviously I've had this lined with like a bag organizer, but I'm just noticing that it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know if it's really discoloring, but I have seen that on some pre-loved bags, like it starts to discolor on the inside over time. And then the branding is very minimal, like it just says Hermes at the very bottom of the bag. I don't even know if you can even see that. And it does have feet, which is quite good. My feet are pretty, oh, is it scratched? I might just need to polish it, but it has feet, so you don't have to worry too much about the bottom getting dirty, unlike the Garden Party, which doesn't have feet. So I find that on the pre-love market, you might find that the Garden Party has really worn out corners, but on the Picotin, after 5 years, I haven't, yeah, I don't have any worn out corners yet, which is cool. Maybe they're a little bit like more smooth. Like it looks like the Clement's grain has been smoothed out a little bit. But I feel like this bag, it's developed this like luster to it, like kind of like a shininess. And it's kind of aged really beautifully. I think the beauty of buying a good quality leather bag is when, as it ages, it actually like matures in color and it gets this like beautiful luster to it. I think that's how you know it's a really good quality leather, as opposed to leather that just like breaks down and peels and scratches really badly. I find that most Hermes leather matures in a really beautiful way. So I've noticed that this bag has developed this kind of like subtle luster to it, which is really pleasing to look at. So the hardware on this is very simple. It does come with a lock, and you do get a little key as well, which I just keep in the bag. But you don't have to keep the lock on. You could just keep it off and then just have it free. But I think the lock looks quite like pretty and like a little ornament on the bag. If you get like a really old Picotin, the original Picotins didn't even have a lock. And they are usually priced a lot less than the Picotin lock, but I personally prefer the Picotin lock because I think it looks prettier. You know, it's just an easy grab and go, very lightweight. I do kind of want to buy another one in like, I don't know, a really pretty color, like Mauve Sylvester would be amazing, or even Vert Cricket. Something like that, Blue Broom. I don't know. I would love like another Picotin from probably like a new one from the boutique in a nice color, because I honestly think the Picotin, I think one of the most popular colors to get it in is definitely the gold color, which I would love to get a gold Hermes bag in the future. But I think honestly, if you get it in any color, it's just like a very fun, easy bag. And if there's a color from Hermes that you love, but you wouldn't necessarily want to invest that much money into, say, I don't know, for example, the color Bamboo, you might love that color, but you might not want to buy it in a Kelly or a Birkin because it would be rather expensive. I think going for it in a Picotin is a really good option, because you can still add that color to your wardrobe but not spend as much money. And actually the Picotin bag, I find I use even more than my Kellys and my Birkin anyway, because it's not as expensive, it's very lightweight, and I don't feel afraid to like really use it because it's already quite slouchy, and because I bought it pre-loved with a floor, I found that it's been one of my most loved bags and most used bags as a result. So it has made me kind of like feel like it's worth the money, because I've worn it so much, and I would totally buy another one as well, whether it was pre-loved or a really nice color from the store. I would absolutely love to get the micro Picotin, like the Lucky Daisy one, especially in the pink color, like the Mauve Sylvester color. But I think that one is in Swift. But I would love to know if any of you guys have the Lucky Daisy design. How do you like it? Have you been wearing it a lot? Because I do like that like kind of limited edition aspect of it, and I think it's I think people either love or hate that print that's on it, but I think it's kind of interesting and different. Those are in Swift leather, so I think they would have a little bit of a different feel to this one, which is in the Clemence, but I don't know, I quite like those. If you're trying to decide what size to get in the Picotin 18, which is this size, tends to be the most popular. You could go for the micro one, but they tend to be a little bit more rare. I mean, recently they've had, as I said, the Lucky Daisy one, but it's sometimes pops up online, but usually a robot will buy it. So yeah, I don't know, but also that one is rather small. I think the 18 might be a little bit more practical. That being said, I do love the micro one. I think if you're more into bigger bags, I would even suggest the Picotin 22, because that size can look good if you're a little bit taller, and if you like to carry like maybe a water bottle and just a little bit more, like I would totally go for a Picotin 22 as well. Maybe I would buy one pre-loved, and I'd put like a giant charm on it. I think that would be really adorable as well. And there's also the Picotin 26, which I've actually seen people wear on their shoulder, and it's more like an oversized slouchy sack. And that one is a little bit hard to come by in the boutique, but I have seen them on the pre-loved market as well. So you can definitely, I think the 18 and the 22, probably the most popular sizes. I would also totally buy one in, I would buy one in every size, to be honest. I've got collecting tendencies, but honestly, the Picotin 18, especially in this hot pink color, I've just loved for the last 5 years, and I'm still going to continue to wear it for another 5 years. It's never been a bag that I've considered selling because I always wear it. It's like my daily bag, and that means that actually means a lot coming from me, because I tend to sell my bags quite regularly if I get sick of them, and this was never a bag that I considered selling, which is really shocking, because even though it has a flaw, and I don't know, like I got it for a really good deal, so maybe there was a time where I could sell it for even more than what I paid, I still thought, oh, no way would I ever sell this, because I think it's mainly the color that I absolutely fell in love with. So yeah, I would totally recommend the Picotin, especially buy it in one of your favorite colors. Like, don't be afraid to get crazy with this bag, because it's such a simple bag and it's very casual. I think just go for your favorite color. Don't worry about getting a neutral. I mean, I would love to get it in a neutral as well. I think that would be very easy to style, but just go crazy with the Picotin. You can even put a little twirly on it. You can put a bag charm. I've even seen people put like fluffy soft toys on it, or like a hand sanitizer dangling. Like, I don't know, anything. Like, you can really go use this bag, and it's just a very fun little sack, I think. And the thing that makes it look luxury is when you touch and feel the leather, because I feel like on like film and on camera, it doesn't really showcase the vibe of the bag, but when you actually experience it and like see it in real life, you're like, oh, like this is a bag, like this feels really nice. So yeah, it's one of my favorite bags that I have. It wasn't overly expensive compared to some of my other bags as well, but it's one that I very much recommend. And if you're worried about the shoulder strap thing, maybe you could even try the new In the Loop bag, which is similar shape to a Picotin. I have seen people get that bag and put a strap on it. The In the Loop bag, I'm still a bit on the fence on. I don't know if it's a bag that I would add to my collection, because I think it's about 2,000 Australian dollars more than the Picotin, and I feel like the design, it looks a little bit like busy. And it just looks like, I don't know, the shape is not as cute, but I kind of like how simple and just like minimal this is, and how it's just like literally just like a little sack, whereas the In the Loop looks like more like a proper little shopping bag. I don't know, I would love to get that bag too, because I would just be curious to know what it would be like. But that bag, if I would recommend that one if you want to add a shoulder strap, because I think that one, it seems like you can add a shoulder strap to it, whereas this, you can kind of hack it to put like a shoulder strap like here, like people have attached shoulder straps to here and worn it like that, but I don't know, I think the vibe of it is just like a little top handle bag myself. But yeah, let me know guys, do you have a Picotin, or are you considering getting one? And let me know, do you love it, do you hate it? Thanks for watching my video today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you on my next one. Bye!